Hello, Gabriel. We are here to talk about Burgundy wines, as it is quite difficult to understand and complicated system of understanding Burgundy wines. Can you tell us something more about it, please?
Sure. Well, first of all, you need to know that in France in 1935 we have created the appellation d'origine contrôlée, which is designation control of origin, which guarantee the characteristic of the wine in terms of where the grapes are grown, how the wine is made, by following some very precise steps. So we cannot do whatever we want to. We are under very strict rules. We cannot irrigate, the labeling is controlled, the bottling is controlled, and the yields are controlled, and we have even a tasting panel at the end.
Can you tell us more about the system, how it is?
Yes, so when we have created the appellation, after 1 or 2 years, 1936-37, we have created the classification of Burgundy, which fall under 4 categories. So we can imagine a pyramid. At the bottom of the pyramid, we have the regional appellation. We call it regional because on the label you will see the name of the region, which will be Bourgogne in French and Burgundy, well, in English. It means that the wine can be from any part of Burgundy, so it's very general, but it will be an excellent entry point for Burgundy wine. You can have it for a good price actually, but it will be very juicy, very charming, very fruity, not something really for keeping for many years, something that you will enjoy it when it's young. And then we have the village appellation. So this will be a higher quality, but it means that, for example, on the label it will be written the name of the village where the wine is come from. So it's more limited, more restricted. And then we have the premier cru above that, which is a higher quality of wine, which means that on the label, for example, you will see the name of the village where the wine is from, followed by the name of the parcel, which has been classified as a premier cru because it has specific soil, microclimate, which will make one particular style of wine. So you have one parcel within the village, which is classified as a premier cru.
Mm-hmm.
Then above that, we have the top quality of wine that we can make in Burgundy, which is the Grand Cru, which represents very small production, 1.5 to 2% of the Burgundy wine production. And on the label, for example, you will not see the name of the village, not even the name of the region. It will just be the name of the plot of vineyards. And we have 33 Grand Cru in total in Burgundy. We have 24 located in Côte de Nuit. Most of them are red, 7 in Côte de Beaune, most of them are white, and 1 Grand Cru in Chablis, which is just white.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know also that from a regional appellation to a Grand Cru, the yields are controlled. So for the regional appellation, you will produce between, let's say, 60-65 hectoliters per hectare. And then for the Grand Cru, you're reducing the yield to 35 to 45 hectoliters per hectare. So by reducing the yields, you get more concentration, more depth, more structure, more body, and your wine will be also able to last for many years, which is one of the factors which make the Grand Cru very special.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell us an example of your favorite Grand Cru in Burgundy? I know it's quite difficult to say, but example.
Well, I had a chance to try a Montrachet, which is a Grand Cru from Côte de Beaune. It's actually white. It was from the Domaine de la Romanée-Conti, a very well-known winery in Burgundy. They make some really good wine. The price is also very high, but I just remember it's not to talk about this winery. Everyone knows it, all the professional people who are passionate about wine. But it's just I remember this one because it was Montrachet Grand Cru 1975, and it was still young. You know, for white, you still had a lot of freshness, something lively, very persistent. So I was really amazed the fact that the wine is still so young. That's why,
from 1975.
yeah, that's why I was just surprised. And so it give you an example that the white actually can age also for a long time and can age very well. Not all the white can age so long, but this is maybe one of the best white wine I never tried. But I remember very well this one. That's why I'm talking to you about this wine. But also there's plenty of other wine which are really good in Burgundy, which are just, for example, the Aligoté can be fantastic from a great winemaker. You can have some fantastic Aligoté, which is a white grape from Burgundy, which can compete some fantastic and one of the greatest Chardonnay. I know a little bit surprising, but believe me, some of Aligoté from a great winemaker who know what they're doing, which reduce the yield. They select the healthy grape at the healthiest as they can make one of the best Aligoté actually.
So it's much cheaper than Grand Cru, because Aligoté is no Grand Cru, right?
Yes, it's not Grand Cru.
Okay.
That's why you need to, if you want to know more about wine, or if you want to spend your money very well, you need to know a little bit more about Burgundy wine, like that you can use your skill to choose a good wine at the same level of probably the best one, but for a better price. So in one way, it's the beauty of Burgundy, but can give you also a big headache because you need to search for it and you need to know few names, like few plot of vineyard, you need to know also the winemaker, which is very important to know the winemaker, because they all have different style to make wine. It's like if you give a piece of meat to two chefs, they're gonna use the same ingredients, but they will cook it differently. So it's what's happening in Burgundy. You have one parcel of let's say 5 hectares, and it can be divided into 10 different owners. So it will be from the same parcel, it will be the same grape and maybe the same vintage, but all of them, they're gonna make the wine in different way because they have their own philosophy and idea to make wine.
Perfect. Thank you. Maybe one last short question.
Sure.
Why do you think the Burgundy wines belong to the most expensive wines in the world? This is of interest for me. What do you think?
Well, I think it's about rarity, because it's rare. Because Burgundy, it's small. It represents only 3% of the French wine production. So we produce very small amounts, and every year they're also getting difficult because the climate. For example, this year, 2014, we had a hailstorm. Some producers, they lost 50 to 100% of their production. So they have a small quantity. The winemaker also actually in Burgundy, they try to make the healthiest wine as much as they can, and also the most natural wine as much as they can. We have a lot of bio wine and biodynamic wine, and this make also a difference. It means that we try also to restore the balance between the plant and the environment. We try to reconnect the human with the nature, try to recreate the biodiversity in the vineyards. So all these, plenty of factors which make Burgundy very, very special and one of the greatest vineyards in the world. Well, anyway, here I have a very nice glass of Pinot Noir. I'm gonna enjoy it and think about you guys. May the one be with you.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Gabriel. Have a nice one. Cheers.